Very good morning to all of you. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to teach you the Taylor's theorem with Lagrange's form of remainder. So this theorem states that if f is a function defined in the closed interval ab such that f and its derivatives, that is up to n minus 1, are continuous in the closed interval ab, and second condition is f nth derivative exists in the open interval ab, then what happens? There exists at least one real number c which belongs to this open interval AB such that this condition holds, that is f of b is equal to f of a plus b minus a into first derivative of the function at a plus b minus a whole square divided by 2 factorial f the second derivative of a function at a, so on up to b minus a whole raised power n divided by n factorial into f nth derivative at c. So for proving the theorem, what we will do? We will consider a function, and this function is similar to the function as defined in the statement. Okay, so I will write this as equation number 1. So suppose this is equation number A. Okay, so the function which I will define here is similar to the function as defined in equation A. So I will write, so after defining the function, what I have to do? I have to basically find the value of this constant A. Okay, so after finding the value of this constant a by using I can say Rolle's theorem, I will then at last substitute this value in the main equation. So from there the theorem will get satisfied. So I will prove this. So I will write here. So consider a function phi defined as phi of x is equal to f of x plus b minus x into f dash x plus b minus x whole square divided by 2 factorial f double dash x plus so on up to b minus x whole raised power n divided by n factorial into a. So basically this a from equation a is f nth derivative at c. So basically now I want to find this value of a. Okay, so for this what I will here write, where a is a constant and to be determined such that phi of a is equal to phi of b. So I will write from equation a, we know that when phi of a is equal to phi of b, then we have also this term that from equation a we have f of b is equal to f of a plus b minus a, then f dash at a plus b minus a whole square divided by 2 factorial into f double dash at a plus so on up to b minus a whole raised power n minus 1 divided by n minus 1 factorial f n minus 1 derivative at a, and last term will be b minus a whole raised power n divided by n factorial. Now here instead of f n derivative of c, I will write here as a. Okay, so now name this as equation number 2. So from this theorem it is clear that first derivative, second derivative up to n minus 1 derivatives are constant, and also f nth derivative exists, means that all these derivatives and function itself is derivable in this interval. So I will write now f and f first derivative, second derivative, third derivative, so on up to f n minus 1 derivative, and this term, which term? Basically this one, that is b minus x whole raised power n. So I will write here b minus x whole raised power n, where n is from 1 to so on up to n, are continuous, and this is continuous in which interval? In closed interval AB, and also these are derivable in the open interval. So I will write here and derivable in the open interval AB. Okay, so therefore we see that, I will write here, so therefore we see that This function basically, which function? This phi of x. This basically satisfies the conditions of Rolle's theorem. So I will write it on next page. So we see that phi of x is continuous in the closed interval AB. Similarly, phi of x is derivable in the open interval AB. Also, the third condition is the value of the function at A, this is equal to the value of function at B. So, from there, the phi satisfies all the conditions of Rolle's theorem. So, I will write phi of x satisfies all the conditions of Rolle's theorem. So, then what happens? There exists at least one real number C which belongs to this open interval AB such that what happens? I will write here phi dash C is equal to 0. So this is the main condition, that phi dash C is equal to 0. So name this as equation number 3. So now what I will do, I will differentiate phi x, the function which I have given in equation 1 with respect to x, and from there I will find the value of the constant a. So I will write here, we know that phi of x is, I am writing here again, so phi of x is basically f of x plus b minus x into f dash x and plus b minus x square divided by 2 factorial f double dash x plus so on up to b minus x raising power n minus 1 divided by n minus 1 factorial into f n minus 1th derivative at x, and last term will be, what is the last term? Last term is basically b minus x raising power n divided by n factorial into a. So now I will differentiate this equation. So I will write differentiating above equation with respect to x, we get. So what I will get? So for differentiating, what I will take here, I will consider b minus x as u and f dash x as v and use u into v formula. Okay. Similarly, I will take this term as u and similarly this term as v. Similarly, for this term it is u and this one is v. Okay. So now I am differentiating this equation. So I will write phi dash x. This is equal to differentiation of fx is f dash x. Similarly, next term will be, I will use here u into v formula. That means first into differentiation of second, and differentiation of f dash x is f double dash x, and then plus second in then second into differentiation of first. So differentiation of b minus x is basically minus 1. Okay. Similarly, for second term it is, I will take 1 by 2 factorial common, and now first term into differentiation of second, and it becomes f triple dash x, and similarly second into differentiation of first, and first differentiation of first is 2 times b minus x and the derivative of minus x is minus 1. Okay. So we have to find all these derivatives, okay, in this manner. So on up to, from this term n minus 1 term, I will take n minus 1 as common, n minus 1 factorial, and in brackets we have first term into differentiation of second term. So differentiation of this term becomes f nth derivative at x. Similarly, second term, that is f n minus 1 x, and differentiation of first term, that becomes n minus 1 into b raised power b minus x raised power n minus 2 divided by this whole term. Actually I have taken the n factorial common, so this and the derivative of minus x is minus 1. Okay, similarly the last term will be n factorial taking common, so from here n into b minus x raising power n minus 1 into a. So this is the differentiation of this term. Now I will do some simplification, and from here we can see that this term, this one and this one get cancelled. Similarly this term and next term from here it get cancelled, and we are left with only two terms. One will be this term and other will be this and n minus 1 term. So I will write here. So from here it can be seen that this term and this term get cancelled. Similarly this term and this term basically get cancelled, because here it is basically 2. I will write here it is 2 also. Okay, so this term and this whole term gets cancelled. Similarly all these terms get cancelled, only we are left with one, this term and this last term. So I will write therefore phi dash x, this is equal to b minus x raising power n minus 1 divided by n minus 1 factorial and f nth derivative at x minus, and other term is basically this is minus. Okay, because the derivative of minus x is minus 1, so I will write here minus. Okay, so minus 1 by n factorial into n into b minus x raising power n minus 1 into a. Okay, now I will also solve this factorial in this part. So I will write b minus x raising power n minus 1 divided by n minus 1 factorial f nth derivative at x minus 1 divided by n into n minus 1. N factorial is n into n minus 1 into b minus x raising power n minus 1 into a. Now n and n get cancelled, so I am left with phi dash x, this is equal to, so b minus x raising power n minus 1 similarly divided by n minus 1 factorial. So from here this whole term and this whole term is basically same, so I can take it common. So inside I am left with fnx minus a. Okay, so this is phi dash x, but we know that as per Rolle's theorem we have phi dash c is equal to 0. Now I will replace this equation with phi dash c. So I will write phi dash c. From here it is, now what is it, b minus, now x gets changed to c, so b minus c n minus 1 divided by n minus 1 factorial. Similarly f nth derivative at c minus a, and this whole is equal to 0. Okay, so from here I will find the value of this constant a, and note that this whole term is not equal to 0, only this term is equal to 0. So I will write, so from here I will write this implies b, now this term is not equal to 0, so only this term is equal to 0, that is f n nth derivative at c minus a, this is equal to 0, and this term is not equal to 0 because I will write here b minus c is non-zero, because c belongs to the, lies in the open interval a and b. Okay, so from here f nth derivative at c, this is equal to a. So this is the value of a which I have find out, which I have determined. So now what I will do, I will use this value in equation second. So substituting this value in equation second, I am left with, so I here write using value of a from equation, from, name it as equation 4, from equation 4 in equation second, we get f of b is equal to f of a, b minus a, f first derivative of a function at a plus b minus a whole square divided by 2 factorial f double dash a, plus so on up to b minus a whole raised power n divided by n factorial up to fn, and instead of a I am writing here fnth derivative at c. Okay, so hence the theorem is verified, hence proved. Okay, so this is the Taylor theorem with Lagrange's form of remainder. So note that I will write here some notes. So this term, which term? b minus a whole raising power n divided by n factorial and fnth derivative at c. This is basically the Lagrange's remainder. So and represented by Rn. So I will write here b minus a raising power n into fnth derivative at c whole divided by n factorial is called Lagrange's remainder. Lagrange's remainder after n terms. After n terms, and is denoted, and it is denoted by Rn. Okay, so second note is that if we put n is equal to 1 in this remainder, or we can say in this theorem, what we get? This theorem becomes Lagrange's mean value theorem. Becomes Lagrange's mean value theorem. Mean value theorem. So also third point, this theorem is also called higher mean value theorem. Higher mean value theorem. Okay, so these are these are some notes. So next is the another form of Taylor's theorem, and it states that if f is a function which is defined in this interval, means in interval a and a plus h, because in previous theorem I have written that we are taking c in the interval a and b, but here I am changing the interval from interval from a and a plus h. So basically instead of b I am using the value a plus h. Okay, so this theorem states that if f is a function defined in this closed interval such that function and all its derivatives are continuous in this closed interval, also its nth derivative exists in the open interval, then that same thing, there exists at least one real number theta. In previous case I have written that that at least one real number is c, which belongs to this open interval a and b. So now I am writing here that at least one real number theta exists which lies in between the open interval 0 and 1, such that this condition holds. That means instead of b I am writing a plus h. So the equation is basically f of expression is f of a plus h. This is equal to f of a plus h into f dash a plus h square divided by 2 factorial into f double dash a plus so on up to h raised power n divided by n factorial f nth derivative at a plus theta h. Okay, so this last term is basically the remainder, Lagrange's remainder after n terms. Okay, so note that when we put when we put a is equal to 0 and h equal to x in this equation, okay, name this as equation number b. So if we put a is equal to 0 and h is equal to x in b, okay, we get the Maclaurin's theorem. Okay, Maclaurin series. So see, so put a is equal to 0 and h is equal to x in the second form, we get f of x is equal to, now instead of a I am putting 0, and instead of a plus h I am putting x, because So because we know that b is equal to a plus h here, so now I get the expression f of 0 plus x into f dash 0 plus x square by 2 factorial into f double dash at 0 plus so on up to x raised power n divided by n factorial into f nth derivative at theta x. Okay, because instead of a I am putting 0 and instead of h I am putting x. So this is, and where this Rn is the Lagrange's remainder form. Okay, so Lagrange's remainder basically. So this is the Taylor's theorem, and I have also discussed with you the Maclaurin's theorem. Now what we will do some questions or examples on this theorem. So first example is apply Taylor's theorem to obtain the function f of x is equal to log x is equal to this whole expression where a is 1, and in this case what we will take b as x. Okay, so by Taylor's theorem we have this is the Taylor theorem. So what I have to do in this question, basically I have to find the derivatives, that is first derivative, second derivative, third derivative, and after finding all these derivatives I will substitute these derivatives in this equation. So I will name it equation number 1, and from after substituting these values in equation first I will get the above expression, that is name it as equation A. Okay, so see, so I will write here f of x is basically log x. Okay, so I have to find first derivative. So I will do like this. First derivative, that is f dash x, log x, derivative of log x is 1 by x. Similarly, I also find second derivative and it will become minus 1 by x square. Similarly, I will find third derivative and it will become 2 by x cube. And I will also find fourth derivative and this will become minus 6 divided by x raised power 4. So plus so on. Okay, so I am only finding 4 terms. Okay, so you can also find fifth term, sixth term. So now what I will do, I will find the value of these functions at 1. Okay, because here a is 1. I will write here a is 1. So I will write here now. So f1 is equal to log 1, and we know that the value of log 1 is 0. Similarly, f dash at 1, this is equal to 1 divided by 1 and this is 1. Similarly, f double dash at 1, this is equal to minus 1. Similarly, f triple dash at 1, this becomes 2, and f fourth derivative at 1, this is equal to minus 6, and plus so on. Okay, so now I will use all these values in equation number 1. So from there I will get the main expression. So I will write here by Taylor's theorem we have, so f of x, this is equal to f of 1, because f of a is 1, so I am writing in this form. Then x minus 1, f of 1, f dash at 1. So instead of a, I am changing, I am taking the interval 1 and x. Okay, 1 and x. So from here also next term will be x minus 1 square divided by 2 factorial f double dash at 1. Similarly, x minus 1 cube divided by 3 factorial f triple dash at 1, and last term x minus 1 raising power 4 factorial f fourth derivative at 1, plus so on. So this series is increasing. Okay, so now f of x is the main function, so f of x is log x. So I will substitute these values. I will write log x, this is equal to f of 1. What is f of 1? F of 1 is 0, so I will write here 0, plus what is x, then next term is x minus 1 into f first derivative at 1 value, so this is 1, So I will write here 1. Similarly, next term will be x minus 1 square 2 factorial into minus 1. And third term will be x minus 1 whole cube 3 factorial into 2. And fourth term will be x minus 1 4 whole raised power 4 divided by 4 factorial into minus 6 plus so on. So this is basically the value of this function by Taylor's theorem. So again writing this equation one more time by neglecting this 0. So we get this equation, that is x minus 1 and minus x minus 1 whole square divided by 2 and so on. So I will write the last equation also. So now after simplification I get the expression x minus 1 minus x minus 1 whole square divided by 2 plus this becomes x minus 1 raising power whole raising power 3 divided by 3 factorial is basically 3 into 2 factorial. So this 2 and this 2 get cancelled. Okay, so then plus x minus 1 whole raised power 4 divided by 4 factorial, and here is 6. So I will write 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So this into minus 6 plus so on. So from here 2 3s are 6 and 3 also get cancelled. So the main expression becomes x minus 1 minus x minus 1 whole square by 2. Similarly x minus 1 whole cube by 3. Then x minus 1 whole 4 by 4. It is minus, I will write here minus. So minus this term and so on. Hence solved. Thank you.